They shot you! Who shot you? Who shot you?
Just when everybody thought the Tupac case was finally buried for good, the feds spun the block with a move nobody saw coming. A brand new arrest, dropped out of nowhere, and suddenly the whole story flipped. And the crazy part? This new arrest doesn't point at Keefe D, it points at the person he might have been protecting this entire time. The name prosecutors have been sitting on in the dark, waiting for the right moment to unleash. Yeah, this one is messy. And the street's already talking. To understand why this new arrest shocked so many people, you have to start with one simple fact. There were 4 people in that white Cadillac the night Tupac got hit. 4 men rode through Las Vegas on September 7th, 1996. 3 of them are gone. Only 1 is still alive to talk. That alone already complicates everything. The lineup was familiar to anyone who followed the Compton scene. Terrence Bubble Up Brown driving, DeAndre Big Dre Smith behind him, Orlando Anderson behind the passenger, Keefe D up front. And every single one of those names has been thrown around for years. Bubble Up, gone. Big Dre, gone. Orlando, gone. Which leaves only one person who can speak on what happened. Keefe D, the man who has practically narrated the case for the last decade. But the part most people missed is this. Keefe D wasn't the only one who ever talked. Prosecutors quietly revealed that a gang member interviewed back in 2006 also implicated Keefe long before he ever wrote a book or touched a podcast microphone. That means someone else, someone on the inside, had already described the Cadillac story years before Keefe decided to monetize his version. And if that person in the dark just got picked up, that's the arrest people believe just happened. But we'll come back to that. This entire case only reopened because Keefe D refused to stop talking. For years, this man treated Tupac's murder like open mic night. He told it in interviews, he told it in documentaries, he told it in podcasts, he told it in his book. He even told it during police interviews, thinking he was immune. And that right there was the biggest mistake of his life. Keefe D believed an old proffer agreement from the 2000s protected him forever. That is not how it works. That deal only covered what he said to police in that specific interview, not what he repeated in books, YouTube interviews, Netflix specials, Vlad TV appearances, and every other platform he stepped on. Once he went public with it, bragged about it, made money from it, prosecutors pounced. It wasn't a cold case breakthrough, it was Keefe giving them everything they needed. And because he placed himself at the scene, admitted he helped supply the gun, and admitted the shooting was retaliation, under Nevada law, that's enough for a murder charge. But here's the thing. The moment Keefe started talking publicly, he wasn't just snitching on himself. He was exposing everybody who might have played a role, including people who were never in that car. To understand why the new arrest matters, you gotta rewind to the night everything went down. September 7th, 1996. Pac just left the Mike Tyson fight. He spots Orlando Anderson in the MGM lobby, the same guy accused of snatching a death row chain weeks earlier. Pac and the crew jump him. Cameras catch everything. From there, Pac and Suge head toward Club 662 for the night's event. And this is where things get strange. The Cadillac just happens to pull up at the exact moment Pac's BMW is stopped at a red light. Windows down, Pac sitting on the passenger side, fully exposed. The shooting lasts seconds. Pac takes 4 shots. Suge gets grazed. The Cadillac speeds off. Now here's what raised eyebrows. How did the Cadillac find Pac at the exact right moment? People in the streets have argued for years that gang retaliation alone didn't fully explain that timing. It wasn't a tiny city. Vegas was packed that night. There were multiple routes to the club, and Pac didn't move quietly. So the question became, was someone feeding the Cadillac crew inside info? Some former death row insiders have claimed the whole situation felt in-house, as if certain people wanted Pac gone before he could. Leave the label, launch his own company, take artists with him, audit death row's books. Those rumors never died. And now, with Keefe D locked up, the bigger plan theory has resurfaced harder than ever. When Keefe D stepped into that courtroom, it wasn't just another hearing. The man was heated. He lashed out. He interrupted, he barked at prosecutors, he complained about documents being used against him. The judge refused to release him on bail, partly because of safety concerns, but also because the court believed he might try to profit from the case while waiting for trial. And then prosecutors dropped a bomb. They had a 26 witness who described Keefe's involvement long before the public confessions. That is huge. It means their case doesn't rely solely on Keefe's interviews. His attorneys tried to argue that Keefe could still legally make money off his story until convicted. The judge wasn't buying it. But none of this was as explosive as what came next. Right in the middle of his legal meltdown, Keefe started pointing fingers. And the name he kept repeating? Reggie Wright Jr., the former head of security at Death Row Records. Keefe has claimed, Reggie knew more about the Tupac situation. Reggie had information tied to Biggie's case. Reggie played a deeper role behind the scenes. Reggie has denied this every time, but those claims stirred the pot again. Some insiders have long believed that if anyone inside Death Row was involved in a setup, Reggie would have been close enough to know. Whether that's true or not, Keefe saying it under pressure shows how messy the case has become. Because once he started talking, he wasn't protecting anybody anymore. Now, here's the plot twist nobody saw coming. When TMZ asked Suge Knight for his reaction to Keefe D's arrest, you'd expect him to be celebrating. After all, he was in the car when Pac got hit. He survived that night. He lived with those scars. But Suge's response? He said he didn't want Keefe D arrested. He said he doesn't wish prison on him. He even suggested Keefe might not be the real problem here. Why would Suge say that? Some believe Suge is simply sticking to street ties. Others think he knows things the public doesn't. But then Suge hinted at something way bigger. He doesn't believe the Cadillac story explains everything. He doesn't believe it was just gang retaliation. He doesn't believe the case begins and ends with Keefe. That one statement reopened 27 years worth of questions. Because Suge isn't some random commentator. He was right there. If he's pushing back on the official story, it carries weight. For years, Keefe D has claimed that Diddy once offered him $1 million for a hit on Pac and Suge. These claims came from a 2008 DEA interview, Keefe's book. Later interviews, Diddy and his legal team have denied it every single time. Police have never listed Diddy as a suspect. No evidence has surfaced confirming the claim. Still, the rumor refuses to disappear, especially now that Diddy is dealing with unrelated legal issues. People are revisiting every old allegation. But legally, right now, there's nothing linking Diddy to this case. The name simply adds to the chaos. The reason people think this new arrest is so important is simple. Prosecutors already have Keefe. They already have his interviews. They already have his book. They already have that 2006 witness. So who else could they be targeting? Someone who had motive, had proximity, had inside info, was around death row, or had access to the Cadillac crew? The streets have guesses. But until prosecutors say the name, it stays in the dark. And that's why the internet is exploding. If the new arrest is who people think it is, this case is about to explode again. Even with all this movement, the truth sits behind a wall. Key witnesses are gone. Confessions conflict. Inside claims contradict police reports. Suge isn't cooperating. Keefe is unpredictable. Rumors involve major industry figures. Motives stretch beyond gang beef. The biggest obstacle? Time. It's been almost 30 years. Evidence fades. Memories blur. People protect themselves. Stories change to fit survival. And yet, this case refuses to die. Every time it goes quiet, something pulls it back up. The new arrest proves something deeper. This case was never as simple as one Cadillac, one gun, and one moment of retaliation. Too many people had reasons. Too many stories don't match. Too many insiders hint at in-house moves. Too many coincidences line up too perfectly. Keefe D may stand trial, but until the full chain of events is exposed, from death row politics to street tensions to industry whispers, this case will always feel unfinished. And maybe that's why it still grips everyone after all these years. Because the truth isn't just missing, it's scattered, hidden behind people who ain't talking, buried under decades of fear, loyalty, and silence, locked behind the only surviving witness who never stopped shifting the story. But with this new arrest, a door that's been closed for 27 years just cracked open again. And the next few months might finally tell us if the world has been chasing the wrong shooter or the wrong mastermind.